Are we live? Are we live, people? Hope so. How are we doing? How are we, beautiful people? I'm on treadmill, so I'm walking. Bear with me. I'm waiting for my twin brother, twin from another mother, to come in. Mighty meat. But he's not here yet. He's doing another stream as well, so um. Also, we know that not a great day for Mighty Meat yesterday. So I don't know. We'll see if he turns up. I'm not sure. I think he will. But if not, we'll discuss stuff anyway, so it's all good. So before he comes in, before we start, I hope everyone's well. So in Wales, it's yeah, the grim, bad day. Oh, but what are you going to do about it? We're here. No point whinging. We're on exercising. I was like, where am I going to fit my hour walking today? Because I need to fit my hour in. I'm streaming on another channel in a little bit, so I don't have the time to do everything. You know what I mean? So I thought, we're doing this stream. This is a sports channel. I'm trying to get fit, so why not cram an hour in here with you beautiful people? Even though I don't think anyone's here yet. That's all good. Doesn't matter. This is a brand new channel, really. We're just starting it up. Myself, Dylan. I am from Wales. I have a vast interest in EFL, college football. Starting to get interested into college basketball. I'd say my IQ in football, in general, American football, in case you're from the UK, is above average. I would say I'm ahead of most people from the UK when it comes to my knowledge. I watch a lot from college and NFL. I'd say I've never really had a team. I support the Colts, I would say, a little bit more than anywhere else. But on the channel, you might see there's a video where I choose my NFL team. I ended up spinning in the wheel, and it ended up that I'm now a Chicago Bears fan, which I don't hate. I don't hate it. I think there's a lot to talk about and discuss about Chicago Bears. I do like a lot of things about Chicago, so it's always a place I wanted to go anyway. So it landed out all right for me. So moving forward, I'm all in on the Bears. I'm all in on the Bears. So yeah, it's good. Um, I don't know if Mikey's coming. Don't know if he's coming. I'm not gonna hang around. I mean, some people are going to be watching this on replay, so let's get into it. Just in case he's not here, I'll leave his game for the Lions to the second part of this, but we'll get discussing about in case he does come in. Kansas City at Baltimore. Woo! I enjoyed the game. I'll be honest with you. I think it showed us why Patrick Mahomes is. He's that guy. He is that guy. I thought him and Travis Kelce were incredible together. Yesterday, I thought Rice did well and stuff like that. I thought the defense were incredible. Spagnolia, I think he's done a great job on that defense. I think this team, as heavy critical as everyone was them during the season, you can see they're built for a playoff team. I said from the start, before playoff started, I think week 16 or something, I felt it was going to be a San Francisco 49ers against Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl. Well, I was wrong. Mighty Meat said, I think he said, Philadelphia Eagles against, I don't remember who he said. Don't remember. But he was way off. So, at least I was close. He was way off. The game was interesting. The game was, it was tight. If you look at the score, it was tighter than it should have been. I thought, personally, and people hate this, but I thought Lamar choked. I thought he choked. I thought Lamar's been exceptional throughout the season. I do think he's the MVP for, uh, you know, for the season prior to the playoffs. For pre-playoffs, I think he was the best, quarterback in the league between everything. But playoffs, don't know what happened to him. He did well. Look, let's be honest though. He did do some things well. He played okay in some situations, but those interceptions they're unacceptable. He's thrown into triple coverage at one point. I mean, what are you doing? Kick it. There's a point where they're 10 points behind, and he's going for the touchdown rather than actually going for an easy 3 points. Throws into triple coverage and gets intercepted. So his game management, the way he played, I think is questionable. I didn't like it. He keeps messing it up in the playoffs. He's Josh Allen 2.0, basically. Josh Allen 2.0. Josh Allen seems to do the same thing. Stupid mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. They can criticize quarterbacks because obviously they get magnified and what have you. I understand that. And when you go home for it, you are going to throw interceptions at times. It's just a question. All the best players throw interceptions, quarterbacks that is. But not when you're in that position where a field goal helps you. You've got to score 10 points to tie the game. So in that situation, fourth quarter, go for the kick, get you 3 points with that kicker you have. Let's not go for it. No. He decides to go for it. Triple frigging coverage, man. Gets picked. They come back and stuff and what have you. They get an opportunity. They do stop Patrick Mahomes. But at that point, I think Patrick was just trying to play safe ball. They've got a lead, let's protect the lead. And in the end, their defense stopped them. And in the end, Kansas City are the right team. They were the best team they played. They dominated the game. I think they were in the first half. They had possession for like 22 minutes of the game, out of 30. So they were in full control. See Andy Reid with like scheme. The guy's a genius. Don't care what you think about him. He's a genius. I did think this was the Ravens this year, but they blew it. They blew it. Will they be competitive next year? Yes, they will. They'll come back next year, and this might help them. This might help them build foundation. But then we see what will happen to the Eagles. They made the Super Bowl last year, and this year, by the end, they had a dramatic. Like everyone thought last year, it doesn't matter. The Eagles lost, but they got a foundation team. They got a young team. They'll be back, and they weren't close. To me, they weren't good enough this year. Hope that's not the case for the Baltimore Ravens. It's just too talented. That defense is way too talented. The old debate about Lamar Jackson's going to be out there again, whether he's good enough, whether he's someone that can be trusted, whether you can move on from him. And look, I don't think you can move on from the guy. I mean, there's no doubt that he's top 10 quarterback in the league. Who do you replace him with? you know, there's only like one Patrick Mahomes, and people put I don't put Josh Allen in the same category as Patrick Mahomes. He could be, but he's not. He's not there. I do think Josh Allen's like a top 5 quarterback, but Burrow, we'll have to see next season. Burrow's got a lot to prove. Joe Burrow's got a lot to prove next year. He did well, led them to the Super Bowl, obviously. Then injury since then, we've not really seen him. But I rate Joe Burrow for me as number 2 quarterback in the league, but he's got a lot to prove. We just see how he does, because he has a tendency to throw picks as well. So I don't think we can judge Joe Burrow quite yet. But I think with Josh Allen and Lamar, they've had so many opportunities. I think it's actually quite disgraceful, especially for Josh Allen. He's probably got one more year with that team. He's not a rookie. He's, what is he now? 5 years, going to 6 years now in the NFL. He should have taken him a lot further than he has, in my opinion. So I'll say I think Kansas City deserved to win. I think for me, he wasn't ever in doubt. With that kind of close game, anything can happen, but just seemed that Kansas City dominated it. So yeah, so there's that. Next game, bang bang, Niners gang against the Detroit Lions. Now I'll put a caveat here. I did not watch the full game, as in like full 60 minutes of it. I watched the 40-minute highlights because I knew the score. I got up this morning and it was all everywhere. Everything I opened, every app I opened, the score was there and stuff. So once you know it, it's a bit hard then to go through it. So I just watched the 40 minutes of it. I was very impressed with the Lions first half. That was, I mean, I don't think you've seen such a perfect, nearly, first half been played before like that. It was perfection, pretty much perfection. And the 49ers were like a complete mess in the first half. I thought, like many, I can understand that people thought, well, they're pulling away from this. Gardner Johnson's waving to the crowd in the first quarter. See you later. 49ers. But whatever happened, what a collapse. And you can blame lots of stuff, like whatever, but ultimately, it was a collapse by the end. I hate to say that. I know that there were situations where Dan Campbell went for it, 4th down, where possibly he should have taken the kicks. He's justifying that by saying he has no regrets. But I said from the start, when I started this channel, he has to temper in a little bit. He has to pick and choose. I know that the Lions are known now. Aggressive, 4th down, let's go for it. And it's got them far. But I think there's times where you got to take ownership and be like, look at where we are. Look at how far we've come in the last 3 years. We're so close to the Super Bowl. Do you go away from your natural instincts? And most people say, well, will probably say no. You just go with it and you live and die with it. But I don't quite agree. I look at like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes against Baltimore. There's a patch there where they were going 3-and-out, but they were just stretching. They were slowing everything down. Sometimes you got to manage the game. I think anyway, and I don't think Dan Campbell managed that game very well at all. In the end, again, what a great first half. I do think like Dan Campbell's not let anybody down. Dan Campbell is a hero in Detroit because he's led them to this level. Do you know what I mean? And not many people would have been able to do that. So he and Brad Holmes deserve a shit ton of credit. But I don't like that he comes out and says, I have no regrets. We always done it all year. We've gone for it. I think he's gone in for a rude awakening next year if he's going to continue that style. Because if you look at Brandon Staley from Chargers, his first year, he had, I would say pretty good first year as head coach. He went for nearly everything. Fourth downs, 2 points conversion, he was going for everything. Then everyone adjusted the next year. And over the next 2 years, he couldn't really adjust it. So my worry with Dan Campbell is next year, is he going to just be the same again? And if he is, then the team is going to be more prepared for him, I think. Like teams were prepared for that brotherly shove. See Tampa against the Eagles, they were prepared for it by the end. It's great once it works, and during the season it might work, but by postseason, Tampa Bay has worked it out. So that's why I think you've got to sometimes do things differently. But it's what got them there. I get it. I'm speaking because obviously Mighty Meat's got a lot more to say about this than I have. I'm just speaking as a general fan, I think the game was theirs to win. I think the game was theirs to win. I think if he has more control over the game, now looking at it, right? If he got to the kicks, for instance, and they missed, for instance, then some people would criticize him. Why is he changing his style? That's not what brought him here. Blah blah blah. I get it. So you can never win, really. But I just think there's a time and place, and where you are right this minute, you don't get there very often. Will the Lions get back to that kind of level again? Truthfully, I don't think they will. I don't think the Lions are getting back to that stage again. Not for a very long time. I don't. I think this was their year. I think if they make it to the playoffs, they win it. At the Super Bowl, they win it this year. That's saying something. But I think all momentum is going against them. They've beaten Kansas City. They know how it's done. I think that they're such a young team that they could have got in there. I think they could have beaten Kansas City Chiefs, but I think this was their year, and as much people don't hear, I think they do it. And I am of the opinion that they would not be back to that stage. I mean, I think they make the playoffs again. I think they will make the playoffs again, but I don't think they're going to get to as far as they have done. I hope I'm wrong because I like the Lions, but I think this was the year for them. I generally think this was the year. They're going to have to pay again Goff next year. What contract's that going to be? What's that going to look like? That's going to be a lot of money, I think. So I don't think he's worth it. I think Goff is better the devil you know, obviously. I think Goff is, taking credit above average, but I don't think he's, the answer there. But I think he's doable. But I think he's going to want to be paid a lot more than they should be paying him, especially with so many other players coming up in the next year or two. Like St. Brown, Hutchinson, all these players are going to want to be paid. So they can't keep everybody there, So I feel sorry a little bit for them. You can be proud of them and what they've achieved this year. I think you really can. So as much as I'm critical of them not making it, that shows a level that I think that they are at. I think that, I expected more from them. But well done to them. In terms of 49ers, I don't know what's going on with 49ers. They were okay, but they're not the 49ers I expected to see. They are, at the minute, the Chiefs. I think the 49ers, to me, are what the Chiefs were during the pre-playoffs. That makes sense. Just getting through, not really, doing that well. I thought that 49ers during the season were outstanding. And it seems to have flipped to the Kansas City Chiefs. And now they seem to be, they're outstanding. So I think that they've got 2 weeks now to prepare both sides. So I think one-off game, whatever. But we'll have a chat about that in another channel, as in another week. But congratulations to the 49ers. I generally think that you didn't win there. The Detroit Lions blew it. I know, I think if you're a passionate Lions fan, you might totally disagree with that, but that's how much respect I have for the Lions. I think the 49ers, they were there for the taking. And I think the Lions absolutely blew it. So we'll see. My girls, Sarah P and Josie, bang bang, Niners gang, they're happy. So I'm happy they're happy. So they're mods for me in another channel, and they're mods here actually. So I'm super chuffed for them. So yeah, so that's where we're at with that. It's unfortunate that my teammate's not here to give his take, but I'm sure he'll jump on and do a separate video about the Lions. It's probably still a little bit raw for him. But right, what else we got? I thought I'd also cover with you some of the new head coaching. What's going on in the head coaching world? So hang on. Oh, anyway, first one, that's Atlanta Falcons. I need to bear with me. I need to get this list up whilst I can. Where is the list? Ah, right. Hang on. If I put this here, hopefully you can hear me okay. Need to get this. List here. So put that there then. First one I'm going to talk about is Atlanta Falcons. And it's Raheem Morris. So Raheem Morris goes to the Atlanta Falcons. A move I think it's a very good one. I think it's a great get for the Falcons. I'm only surprised because obviously everyone thought that Bill was going there, Bill Belichick. So, and then obviously Harbaugh, we thought it might be going there. So, I'm so glad that they went with Raheem Morris. He's an exceptionally great coach. People speak very highly of him. Everywhere he's been, people speak highly of him. Known as a defensive guru, but he also knows a lot about the offense. He's been like a wide receivers coach and stuff like that as well. Yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan speaks very highly of him. Said that whenever he coaches, he always tries to take Raheem Morris with him because he's that freaking good. So I think he's the right guy to lead that team. I think he will lead them well. I think he's someone that is. I'm surprised it took this long, but I'm glad it did because I think he's now super hungry for it. And I'll say he's the right guy. There's some good pieces in Atlanta that they can now work around. Now, my main concern about Atlanta, which we can discuss again, but it's around the quarterback. So that's his first assessment going to be about what's he going to build around the quarterback. What's he going to do? I don't think that room is good enough. I think they need a new quarterback, but that's going to be under advisement because obviously they're scoring a few new quarterbacks. But yeah, I think they need to go. We're going to look at whether they get one in the draft this year or not. I don't know. But yeah, that's a separate discussion. But I think for once, the Falcons done correctly. Then go to Carolina Panthers. Dave Canales from Miami. So he coached a lot over in Seattle, and he's now who's now with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know much about the guy, but from what I've heard, he's a very impressive guy. He must have really impressed them because he's been given a 6-year contract. Now, this is Tepper, Dave Tepper, right? We know he gave Matt Rule 3.5 years. He gave Steve Wilkes to the end of the year to try to fix it. He gave Frank Reich, 11, 12 games, or whatever, however much it was. Basically nothing. And now he's got this guy, Dave in, Canales in, and he's given him 6 years. So it's interesting for me because it begs the question about Frank Reich, because Frank Reich is obviously a really good coach. I don't rate him as a head coach. I do think he's just too nice to become a head coach. But he's definitely somebody that players respect, coaches respect. So I do wonder why it didn't work for him there. So to bring in an inexperienced guy, I thought they'd bring in somebody like an Aaron Glenn, Steve Wilkes, kind of tough guy. They brought in an experienced head coach to work with a new GM in Dan Morgan. So it'd be interesting. Because 6 years, I think Tepper now has to give him, plenty of time next 4 or 5 years, because your first year you're normally not going to do well. Second year, obviously, building, and so it takes 3 years to try and build your foundation. You're not going to see what the foundation looks like till about your 4th year, and you're not going to reap the rewards till about your 5th year. But is Tepper going to be that patient? We all know that he's got loads of money, so 6 years doesn't mean anything really. He would gladly get rid of you after a year if you're not performing. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm surprised with that hire. But good luck to him, I say. Who else we got now? Then what's next? We've got go through the list here. Troy Pierce, we've spoken to him about before. I don't like the hire. I think he'd be a rah-rah guy for the first year. I think he'll do okay. Over the next 3 years, I think they'll be an average team, but I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl with him in charge. I don't think he's experienced enough. I think he's the type of coach that will get teams up. They might make a playoff or two, but they're never going to win the Super Bowl with that kind of head coach, I don't believe. I wasn't impressed. Maybe I'm not impressed with it more because players demanded it, and I don't like defensive players. That was. I just don't like that kind of stuff. I do like Tom Telesco. No, I don't think Mighty does, but I do like Tom Telesco. He is well regarded around the league. People speak well about him. So, and I do actually think when you look at his draft, he's drafted really well. Just unfortunately, the players that he's got in haven't performed. When he had Justin Herbert in, he's in my opinion, he's drafted really, really well. He's brought like Mac in. He brings, look at the paper, team on paper with the Chargers. It's exceptional. That's credit to Tom Telesco. That he's not out there coaching. So I think it's more of a coaching issue than anything else. I do think him going to the Raiders is a very savvy move. So I think in a couple of years, 2-3 years, the Raiders will have a really good team, but I don't think they're going to perform unless they change the head coach. Then we've got Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. What a signing that is. Jim's got everything there. Now, Jim's a fast starter, we know, in the NFL. Not so much in college, maybe, but well, he is actually. But he's got the team. The team is there. There's no question about that. The team is there for him. So it depends now. Like Justin Herbert, he's got the quarterback. He's sort of got a running game if he needs it. He's got everything he needs. But we've seen coaches there go in and fail. I think he will succeed. I'm not saying they'll win the Super Bowl or anything, but I think he'll do well. I think they will now start reaching the Super Bowl, the playoffs on a regular basis. Then then yeah, we'll just have to see. Uh, who else we got? England Patriots, we got through that. Jeremy, don't like that either. Don't like that signing. Again, ex-player, no experience. Dodgy dealings. I just don't like it. Again, I think he's going to be an exceptional coach, but being an exceptional coach until he lead a team is different. But I think he'll get a lot more grace there because Kraft wants him. So, then we've got the hot seat next year is going to be New York Jets, New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, maybe Pittsburgh Steelers. So we've still got Tennessee Titans, Brian Callahan. I think that's a really good get for the Titans. Really good get. I don't think the Titans was an attractive role. I don't think it was. I don't agree that they got rid of Vrabel. Vrabel and GM did not get on. Obviously, when he was there with John Robinson as GM, John Robinson got rid of AJ Brown, and he wasn't happy about that. I think players play for him, and I think that he's an example of what a head coach looks like. So if Jerry Mayo and Tony Pierce takes his model, then maybe they will be successful. But we'll see. I like it. I do wonder if his father's going to follow him, or does he want his father there? I don't know. Brian Callahan, and his father is Jim Callahan. He is the O-line coach with Cleveland Browns, and he's a genius. And he's actually somebody you need there. And if requested, if they request him to come for an interview to be the O-line coach, you'd be hard pressed if you were the Browns to say no. Say no to father-son combo. So I don't know. Or do they just give him an assistant head coach title on O-line? I don't know. But we'll see how that happens, how it works out. 2 vacancies though. Seattle Heat, Seahawks, Washington Commanders. I like the Washington Commanders. I think it's going to be a good post. I think Adam Peters, as their new GM, from everything I've heard about him, he's incredible. New ownership group. I think he should be excited. If you're a Washington Commanders fan, I think you should be excited. I'm not saying it's going to change overnight, but I think you should be excited. I do wonder who goes here. I think sneaky feeling it'll be Ben Johnson. I think that's who you need here. I think you give him a year to evaluate Sam Howells. I think you move on from Sam Howells, but it's not quite that easy. Depends if you can get another quarterback. Because Drake May was Sam Howells' understudy. So is that an upgrade from North Carolina? I don't know. I don't know. I generally don't know. So that's why they get paid the big bucks in scouting and stuff like that to make that decision. So we'll see with that one. But I would probably put Ben Johnson in there, give him a try. I think he's proven himself as a play caller and as a coordinator. My only question mark is whether he can lead the team. But as a coordinator, as he has done, as far as he's taken the Lions, he basically had full control over that. The difference between him and like Mayo and Tony Pierce is like that was his division. The whole offense was. Like Bill had that in with the Patriots and whoever else had it in Vegas. So yeah, and then Seattle Seahawks. Personally, would probably go for Dan Quinn here. I think Dan Quinn's a good fit, but I generally don't know where they're going with it. I generally don't know. I think it's a safe place. Not so in that terms, it's quite attractive because always quite safe. But yeah, for me, Dan Quinn, but they probably go somewhere else. That means this year we've got to have, candidates have missed out like Bill Belichick, Mike Vrabel. They're going to take a year out. That's surprising to me. Surprising to me. but maybe they want potentially a year out, recess, do similar to what Mike McCarthy did, leaving Green Bay, then got the Dallas job. Maybe they didn't want some of these jobs. I don't know. I don't know. Or quite possibly the teams just don't rate them as highly as I do. I mean, but you got Bill Belichick. I mean, some people say he's not the best head coach in the world, but that's ever been. But he is. I think him and Tom Brady came as a partnership, though. So anyway, there we are. Been going on now for well, I've been going on here for about 40 minutes. I'm going to carry on for a little bit longer, but I'll end the stream there because no one's really interacted today, so there's no point. I know. Hopefully, you watch this replay crew. If you do, please like. If you're not a member, please subscribe. And yeah, look at the sweat. Oh, we're working. We're working. My battery's about to go down on my laptop, so that's why I need to finish it now. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully everything worked, the mic worked and everything. I don't know if it's disaster, if it's muted or something, but with that, peace out, guys. Catch you all later. Ta.